guys, it's Laura with Quilted Chicken. It's our Monday matchup, and today you can see behind me we're going to do kind of a menagerie of blacks and browns. The blocks that you see we used for the Moda Blockheads 4 challenge that was last year. They have started their Blockheads 5. They're doing it a little bit differently this year, and they've also got some different block sizes. But I really did enjoy this colorway, and the video that we had out with our fabric selection and as we did our blocks. There were several people that enjoyed this colorway. The main fabrics that I used for our blocks were a layer cake that I had from Basic Gray. It was one of the Little Black Dress series. I do not believe it was the original. It might have been the second or the third. It was still when they called it the Little Black Dress. We used one layer cake, and then we found several other grays, several like plaids and creams to use for the backgrounds. And so as you can see behind me, the blocks really have a kind of a wide selection of color, but they all sort of mash together. We did make sure to use some high contrast to make sure that if we had a white or a cream, that we used a dark black or a dark gray to go with that, so that you didn't get a lot of there was a few blocks that we put together that you couldn't really tell in the pictures that there was a lot of variance in the color because it was such a large print. As you can see, the layer cake did have some pretty large prints, and depending on where you cut it, you can get the grays or you can get kind of a background. So we did make sure to pull in some solids, some browns, even some grays and some creams. So we will take a kind of a quick look. I know you can't see all of them here. We do have several that are just black and white. So I'm gonna see if we can tilt this a little ways. We do have several that are black and white. That are gonna be the good high contrast. If you've got kind of the grays and the blacks, you're gonna want something that's gonna be a little bit more white to go with it. And then we work kind of into our creams. The creams, the browns look really well together, but we've also got some creams with the gray. We did try and make sure to get, in the creams that had a warm tone, and then creams that had a little bit cooler tone that'll get a little bit more gray, so that you can still mix and match, but that they don't just all blend together. You can see we then work in a few browns and some of our blacks. These blacks have actually got some black and brown with them. Looking on the screen right here, I don't know how I feel about this brown. It's a little bit bright. Maybe it's just because it's this next to this brown that's got the gray in it, but this may be something that we take out. We did use some of the date night, because the Little Black Dress line was several years ago, close to a decade maybe. She did come out with another the black and white called Date Night. So that was a line that we did get in, that you can see it mimics a lot of the colors from the original layer cake. All right, I'm going to switch on this side so we can see some of our other prints here. So then we had kind of the brown blacks that we switched to some grays. You can see that these blacks are a lot more like a blue tone or a gray undertone. But on the blocks, you can also see that we used the blacks here, and then we used kind of the gray blue blacks here as well. So they do all work together when you're doing such a scrappy kind of quilt. We've got some blacks with prints, so that you don't just have that solid black. And then of course we've got a grunge on the end there that's going to have just, if you just want that basic black to go with it. I do not currently have all of these listed on the information. We will go through, and we'll have a section in our Monday matchup on our Etsy shop where you can click on it in the comments and link to all of these fabrics. We'll also list the SKUs, so that if you just want to click on it and go directly to search for those fabrics, you can do that as well. We have not started. We didn't even finish our Moda Blockheads 4. I think there were about 28 regular blocks and maybe 8 bonus blocks. I think we got about halfway through The Moda Blockheads 5 this year, they have done it a little bit differently, and they've split it up. They're going to have a smaller number of blocks if you wanted to do a small Christmas project, a throw or a gift for somebody. And then they're going to start back up, I believe, in January to finish up the rest of the Moda Blockheads 5. But we will also put a link to the Moda Blockheads 5. All of the patterns are free every week. On Wednesday, they release a new block from a different Moda designer. So there's a lot of different contrast. You can see none of the blocks behind me are, all of the blocks were from a different designer, so they don't look super similar. There were a few of the stars that started to look a little bit similar, but there was enough of a difference that all of the blocks are different. So it's really fun to walk through. It's also fun. You can find them on Facebook. We'll put a link to the Facebook group for the Moda Blockheads 5 in the comments so that you can check that out as well, because seeing everyone's different colorways, Robin Pickens is really good about having several different block color ways to look at to get a good idea of what you want to do. That's it. It's kind of a quick short video today. We're also a little bit later than normal. We got I thought, well, let me get my orders out real quick. Let me get this done real quick. Let me get this done. And next thing I know, I looked down, it was 11:30, and then of course it took a little bit to get stuff put together. But thank you for joining and looking. I hope that if this is something that's in your wheelhouse, even if you don't love these prints together, hopefully seeing them in the blocks, you can kind of get an appreciation for the blacks and browns and grays. It's one of my favorite colorways because it's kind of earthy. It's not too girly. You can throw some florals in there, but it doesn't throw off the color scheme very much. So that's it, guys. Thanks for joining. We will have another Monday matchup next week. We'll pull some more fabrics, some different fabrics together, and see what we can come up with. So join us then. See you later. Bye.